Hi everyone, it's Nishti here, dietitian and conscious parenting coach. This video, I'm mixing both my expertise as a dietitian as a conscious parenting coach to talk to you about the following topic. Why your fussy eater is here to teach you something as a parent. You're probably thinking, what is going on? Because it's the child's fault, isn't it? They're not eating their vegetables. I've put them in front of them. Well, I'm telling you now that it has nothing to do with the child. In fact, it has all to do with you. And this is the whole concept of conscious parenting. Conscious parenting is a journey I embarked on a few years ago. And that's because working with parents and adults, I came to just be, I was basically repeating myself. Every time I was talking to someone, especially the fussy eaters, it would be the same old thing. Create a reward chart system, put some nice sticker on there if they eat their vegetables, keep introducing a food, and ignore them at meal times. You know, they may start eating their vegetables then. And I felt so silly. And I know why. It's because it doesn't work. Can you just imagine yourself in an office where you have a reward chart system going on? And because you've hit target, you get a nice sticky chart. You get a nice sticker on your chart. But if you didn't do well that day, you get nothing. How would that make you feel? I'm sure it wouldn't make you feel great. I know I wouldn't feel good about that. I would feel humiliated. And that's what we set up our children. That's a disaster. We set our children up for disaster. We shouldn't use this carrot stick method to get them to eat. Food is just food, but it's because we as adults, our relationship with food is so screwed up that it's actually affecting our children. So the whole concept of conscious parenting is really becoming aware of what is triggering you when your child doesn't eat or won't eat that, won't eat this. And it doesn't just have to be food, it can be anything. So I'm doing some training at the moment with the best parenting coach in the world, I will say. Her name is Dr. Shefali, and I've also been to America to do training with her. And it's all about becoming aware of the energy you bring into any relationship, but particularly the relationship with your children. And in fact, every time you are triggered, every time you feel anxiety, upset, and you lash out, then actually it's something to do with things inside of you that you still haven't looked at and you may have not been aware of. Unhealed wounds that we all walk around with, but we don't talk about because it's not nice to talk about that, is it? But it's the only way to solve our issues, particularly when it comes to the fussy eater. Now, your fussy eater isn't eating their meal because they don't feel like you see them. They feel that the only thing you really care about is the food, whether they eat the food or not. But actually, they feel that food is more important. But they don't feel that you see them for who they are. And this is done unintentionally. You're a parent. You love your child. There's nothing stronger. The bond between a parent and a child is so beautiful. And I absolutely love all the parents I work with. And I can see, when I have a mom or a dad, it's particularly moms who have such frustrating relationships with their children because they don't eat this and they don't eat that and they only eat particular foods. And I see the sorrow in their eyes, and I have great compassion for that. But I also know better, and I know why it's there. And that's because we as adults, we have a screwed up relationship with food. We use food to really soothe us when we felt upset. Maybe our mom. So I know my mom, when I wasn't feeling great, she would cook me a nice meal and then everything's great again. But how about talking about our emotions? No, we didn't do that. Or let's say you've done really well at school and you go out and celebrate with a meal. So both negative and positive emotions have been used are used when it comes to food. No wonder that our relationship with food is so screwed up. So if your child is triggering you because they didn't eat or don't eat particular foods, they know very well. Dear parent watching this, I'm telling you, your words, you don't have to say a word, they feel your energy. They know that all you care about is whether they eat that delicious pasta you made them. And they know that you have no boundaries, so when you say, well, if you don't eat your pasta, you're not going to get anything else. But you can't. You can't not give them anything else. You're still going to give in. You're going to give them those fish fingers before bed because they can't go to bed hungry, can they? But that actually has nothing to do with the child. The child is just there and is listening to you and is feeling that energy that you bring to the situation. But it knows very well that you don't know how to say no. They do know that when you say no, that you don't mean it, and that you will eventually say yes, right? And they also know that your relationship with food isn't that great. They know that your relationship with food is full of unhealed emotions. You use food to soothe yourself. You're just full of anxiety because you feel that if they don't eat the food, that it's affecting your worth, as if food is there to show you your worth. Food is just food. Food is not telling you to eat me or it doesn't really care. It's just neutral. But we've put all this power onto food, and we think we are so great because we can cook specific and amazing meals, So I'm challenging you now as a parent to really think about your relationship with food, because your child is triggering you. The fact that they don't want to eat stuff and there's so much drama around meal times is because, one, you're trying to control your child because you have no control over yourself. You have no control when food is used to control both negative and positive feelings. So that's why you're being triggered by your child. That's why there's so much drama around meal times. That's why your child is going against you more and more. There's more resistance, because they've had enough of that negativity. And actually, they're telling you indirectly to, Mom, I've come into this world so you can heal your relationship with food. Your child is mirroring to you that you've used food all your life to fulfill an inner emptiness. That's why you're being triggered. So the solution is not a reward chart. The solution is not continue to introduce the carrot every day and hope that they will eat it. No. The solution is that you as a parent, you need to be brave. You need to step up. You need to get honest with yourself and say to yourself, take a piece of paper and write out, my relationship with food is. And there's your answer. And if it's not great, well, there's always a solution. We can always heal ourselves, and it's not your fault. It's probably your mom's fault. I know my mom's relationship with food is crazy. She thinks and I've started to say to her, if I don't like something, I used to please her and I say, oh, I like it. But now I say, I don't like it. And she gets so upset. But it's nothing to do with her. She shouldn't take it personally. It's just food after all, But she's put so much worth and so much energy into this meal that if I don't like it, then she thinks she's a bad mom. But that's because she's got unhealed issues around food, you see. She thinks that the more I love the food, the more I will love her. So it's about time that we really get honest with ourselves. And if we don't have a good relationship with food, then we can establish a good relationship with food. But we first need to know where does this come from? Why don't you have a good relationship with food? And then you need to take some action. If you want to, I've written an amazing blog about how to become a mindful eater. It's on my website, nishtichoice.com. You can read that. You can also leave a comment. I will do my best to help you, or get in touch. Get in touch and I would happily talk you and your family. If you've got picky eaters, fussy eaters, I will help you through it. And I'm not going to do the standardized approach because it doesn't work. I think it's all BS, if I'm totally honest. I am more into this whole concept of really going deep and looking at the parent. Let's be real here. Let's be real. Let's be authentic. So that's me here. And let me just say one thing about fussy eaters as well. Obviously, there are other causes. It's not just that. It can also be, I've seen in my time as a pediatric dietitian that because children weren't introduced onto solids at the right time, they missed that opportunity, window of opportunity we call it. The child is funny around textures, and because they haven't taught how to move on from milk to smooth textures to more textured food, they are basically having issues with that. So that can also cause problems. And then obviously there is autism. Autism can lead to a very restricted diet. So I'm just telling you here that I'm well aware of other causes of fussy eating. It's not just this, okay? But this video is for the standard client that I see that come to me because the child doesn't want to eat this or doesn't want to eat that. And I therefore challenge them, and I challenge you, that it's about time that we dig deep into ourselves, into this area that no one's ever taught us to look within and realize that perhaps our child is actually there to teach us something and is telling us, is screaming at us, Mom, please heal your relationship with food, because if not, you're trying to control me, we've got no connection, you're pushing me further and further away. The fact that you're trying to control me is affecting our relationship and my own relationship with food. Now, I'm talking as a child here, right? So it's actually your responsibility to heal your relationship with food. Otherwise, it will negatively have an impact on your child. And you obviously, you want the best for your child. So I know that you're doing, this is all unintentional. You know, there's nothing greater than a mom's love. But you know, love is blind, right? And sometimes we've got all these inner issues that we haven't worked out, and as a consequence, our children suffer. So therefore, conscious parenting is all about us as adults and parents. Let's step up. Let's be honest with ourselves, heal ourselves, because every time you get triggered, it's not about them, it's about you.